Raymond Reddington didn't just win. He made his rivals help him win, and they usually thanked him for the privilege. Stay to the end for the 5 core mind games he repeats throughout the series, so you'll spot them the moment they start. We'll break down the conference room whisper that single-handedly ended a blood feud and the elaborate Hollywood-level plane crash that never actually happened. We're counting down 10 times he made his enemies play his game, and never even know it. Welcome, Blacklist fans. We know Raymond Reddington as the concierge of crime, a man of impossibly fine tastes and a moral compass that points directly wherever he profits. But underneath that signature, Fedora is a master puppeteer, a grandmaster of cognitive warfare. He doesn't just defeat his enemies. He orchestrates their downfall with such profound finesse that they often believe they're in control until the final devastating moment. They are the ones to pull the trigger, only to discover Reddington not only handed them the gun, but also wrote the script for the entire tragic play. Today, we're not just looking at his greatest victories. This isn't about gunfights and explosions. It's about psychological dominance and cognitive warfare, and in that arena, Red is always 10 moves ahead. Number 10. In the very first season, the FBI is frantically hunting a ghost, a high-profile assassin for hire known only as the Freelancer, whose specialty is making mass casualty events look like accidents. Their mission is to stop his next hit on the celebrated humanitarian Floriana Campo. For the task force, the game seems simple. Find the killer, protect the target. But Red's real goal is far more ambitious: to expose the saintly Campo as a monster running a human trafficking ring, and in doing so, cement his own indispensable value to the FBI. Reddington gives them a name, but it's a decoy, a patsy freelancer. At a packed charity gala, he points out the fake assassin, who proceeds to poison Campo's wine with a slow-acting, non-lethal toxin. The FBI swoops in, catching their man and saving the day, but the decoy promptly accuses Reddington of hiring him, sowing chaos. With Campo slowly dying, Red makes his move. He offers her the antidote, but only in exchange for a full, detailed confession of her crimes. The turn is absolutely brilliant. The celebrated victim is revealed as the true villain. The assassin is a disposable prop, and the poison is merely leverage. The FBI suddenly realizes they didn't run a case. They were unknowingly mobilized as Red's personal investigative unit, using the full power of the US government to unmask his business rival. He taught them early. If he controls the target and the narrative, he controls the entire outcome. Which was a bigger power move, using the FBI as his personal army or sacrificing a man just to make the play look real? Let us know below. Number 9. The task force targets the Kingmaker, a shadowy political strategist who engineers the rise of powerful men by committing heinous crimes to eliminate their rivals. The FBI's mission is clear: expose him and prevent his hand-picked candidate from winning an election in Prague. But Red's real goal isn't to clean up foreign politics. It's to hijack the entire corrupt operation and install his own political puppet. He masterfully feeds the FBI just enough actionable intelligence to keep them occupied chasing the Kingmaker, ensuring they succeed in their mission. While they're busy with the chase, Red makes a quiet visit to the wife of the Kingmaker's candidate. He doesn't threaten her or her husband. Instead, he tells her a chillingly calm story, planting a seed of doubt and helplessness. He then offers a solution: pledge her husband's future loyalty to a new, unnamed benefactor, and the Kingmaker problem will simply vanish. The FBI successfully captures the original Kingmaker, celebrating a major victory and believing they've cleaned up a foreign election. In reality, they just cleared the political chessboard for Red. His candidate wins, and the FBI has unknowingly handed Raymond Reddington a powerful political asset on a silver platter. He didn't stop a corrupt process. He commandeered it. Remove the Kingmaker, become the Kingmaker. Quick reset. Red gave them a legitimate case, let them win, and then used their victory to crown his own candidate behind the scenes. Number 8. The enemy isn't at a distance. He's at the gates, and he's breached the walls. Anslo Garrick, a brutal mercenary with a deep personal grudge, attacks the FBI's supposedly impenetrable post office black site with one goal: to capture and torture Reddington. Red is trapped. The FBI's elite team is crippled, and Garrick thinks he finally has the fox in a box. Red's real goal, however, is to turn his prison into a command center and empower his most valuable hidden asset. As Garrick's heavily armed team storms the site, Red drags a gravely wounded agent wrestler into a supposedly unbreakable containment cube and locks them both inside. From the outside, it looks like a cowardly retreat. Garrick focuses all his resources and attention on the man in the box, executing Red's loyal bodyguard, Luli, and threatening Dembe to force him out. But the turn is that the cube wasn't a cage. It was a command post. By making himself the singular focus of Garrick's rage, Red drew all the fire, giving Elizabeth Keene the time and operational freedom she needed to navigate the compromised facility and become the cavalry. Garrick was so obsessed with capturing the fox, he completely forgot Liz was on the board at all. Be the distraction. Your ally becomes the solution. Was Red's calmest moment under pressure saving Wrestler's life in the cube, or facing down Townsend in the bunker? Vote in the comments. Number 7. Alexander Kirk, a powerful oligarch convinced he is Elizabeth Keene's biological father, has Red strapped to a chair, ready for lethal torture. Kirk's entire world is driven by one powerful, all-consuming narrative, that Red stole his family and ruined his life. He believes he's finally won, but Red's real goal is to shatter Kirk's entire reality, not with force, but with a single, weaponized secret. Kirk begins injecting Red with a chemical to slowly and painfully force a confession. Desperate, Liz reveals a DNA test proving Kirk is not her father, but he is too far gone, refusing to believe it. As Kirk moves in for the kill, Red calmly looks him in the eye and whispers something inaudible to the audience. Mere facts wouldn't move Kirk. Only a secret could. Whatever Red said, it was a truth so profound and deeply personal that it instantly vaporized decades of Kirk's obsessive rage. He freezes, his entire demeanor shifts, he lowers the syringe and walks away a completely broken man. Red didn't tear down the castle of hate brick by brick. He whispered that the very ground it was built on was never real to begin with. A secret can end a war that facts never could. Park this tactic. When he can't win the fight, he reframes the entire conflict with one devastating sentence. Number 6. The director of the Cabal, the formidable Peter Kotsiopoulos, has successfully framed Liz for murder and plans to make her disappear into the shadows of the intelligence community. His power seems absolute, his reach infinite. Red's real goal is twofold: exonerate Liz and decapitate the entire Cabal leadership in one clean move. He knows he can't get to the director while he's insulated by layers of power and security, so he devises a plan to make the director isolate himself. He uses priceless stolen currency printing plates as bait and strategically leaks information to the press, building immense public pressure. This pressure forces the director's own ultra-secure emergency security protocol to trigger, a protocol designed to whisk him away to an undisclosed safe location. The turn is that the elite extraction team that abducts the director isn't his. It's Red's, disguised perfectly. The safe house he's taken to is actually a custom-built prison in the sky. Red then uses the Fulcrum blackmail file to force the Cabal to choose between saving their leader or saving their clandestine organization. They abandon him without a second thought. The man who operated from the heights of global power meets his end falling from the sky. The strongest system becomes your most effective tool if you can predict its fail-safes. Smarter leverage. The director's own security protocol or a staged plane crash? Tell us. Number 5. The target is the pharmacist, a reclusive bioterrorist who designs custom-made plagues and sells the cures to the highest bidder. The man is paranoid, meticulous, and careful. So Red's real goal is to lure a man who lives entirely in the shadows out into the broad daylight. To do this, Red doesn't just set a trap. He directs a full-blown Hollywood production. He acquires a decommissioned airliner, hires a cast of actors and a professional special effects crew, and stages an astonishingly convincing commercial plane crash, complete with Agent Wrestler in NTSB cosplay leading the fake investigation. The pharmacist hears news of the crash and is led to believe a client carrying one of his deadly virus samples has died. He can't resist the urge to go to the crash site himself to contain the spill and protect his anonymity. He walks directly into a perfectly constructed illusion, an epic fiction created solely for him. The pharmacist was so focused on the fictional biohazard that he never imagined the entire tragedy was a meticulously crafted stage play designed to exploit his precise psychological weakness. If the lie is big enough, it hides in plain sight. If you're into chess-level cons, hit the like button so this video reaches more Blacklist fans. On to number 4. Number 4. Neville Townsend's hatred for Reddington is a force of nature. It's absolute, born from the belief that Red was responsible for the murder of his family. He finally has Red and Liz cornered in a subterranean bunker, ready to incinerate them both. Red's real goal isn't to stop Townsend's rage, he knows that's impossible, but to skillfully aim it somewhere else. Trapped in the inner sanctum with no way out, Red knows he can't fight or reason his way to survival. So he speaks directly to a security camera, knowing Townsend is watching his every move. He calmly confirms Townsend's deepest belief, that he is, in fact, the legendary spy N13. Then he adds the masterful twist. He has been grooming Elizabeth for years to be his successor. Red understands that Townsend's obsession isn't just about killing him, it's about destroying his life's work, his legacy. By anointing Liz as his heir, he gives Townsend a new, more valuable target. Blinded by the possibility of capturing Red's legacy, Townsend calls off the firestorm to capture Liz alive. That hesitation gives Red the precious moments he needed to engineer his escape and set in motion the chain of events that would lead to Townsend's own demise. Aim the rage. Don't try to block it. Number 3. Milos Kirchhoff, known to the world as Berlin, is Red's true equal in intellect and cruelty. He is systematically dismantling Red's global empire piece by piece, driven by the unwavering belief that Red murdered his daughter years ago. Red's real goal isn't just to achieve a truce, but to claim total and absolute victory. He discovers that Berlin's daughter Zoe is actually alive and living in hiding. But he doesn't reveal this crucial fact. Instead, he uses Zoe as a hidden piece to help him execute a financial masterstroke. In a stunning move, he convinces his mortal enemy to pool their money for a temporary strategic alliance, moving huge sums of their combined wealth into shared accounts for a supposed joint venture. With all of Berlin's liquid assets now tied up with his, Red makes his move. Over a calm glass of vodka, he informs Berlin that he's just lost everything. Confused and enraged, Berlin hears a phone ring. It's his bank manager calling to inform him the money is gone. Red, with Zoe's logistical help, has drained every single account. He didn't just beat his rival, he financially erased him from existence. Finally, after stripping him of his power, his wealth, and his reason for vengeance, Red shares one last drink and kills him. It wasn't an assassination, it was a foreclosure. Empty the accounts. The empire inevitably falls. Number 2. Mr. Kaplan, Red's oldest friend, confidant, and cleaner, wages a devastatingly effective war to save Liz from his influence. She weaponizes 3 decades of his darkest secrets, systematically freezing his accounts, exposing his most loyal allies, and literally unearthing 86 bodies she personally buried for him. Her goal? To completely erase Red's empire and deliver a final posthumous truth to Liz in the form of a suitcase containing the skeletal remains of the real Raymond Reddington. Red's real goal is simply to survive this total exposure while somehow preserving his complex relationship with Liz. He doesn't even try to stop Kaplan's relentless attacks. He absorbs them, understanding her strategy better than she does. He knows her ultimate goal is to make herself a martyr, ensuring that upon her death, the suitcase and its damning contents will go directly to Liz. Kaplan's posthumous delivery system works exactly as she planned, but Red has already anticipated her endgame. He outsmarts her not by blocking her final brilliant move, but by seeing past it and preparing for its inevitable arrival on a timeline he can ultimately control. He turned her greatest weapon into just another complicated piece in his own, much longer game. You can't always stop the reveal, so you own its timing. Number 1. From the very moment he walked, unarmed, into FBI headquarters and surrendered, Raymond Reddington launched his master plan. The FBI thought they were gaining an unprecedented intelligence asset, an informant who could help them take down the world's most dangerous and untouchable criminals. For 10 years, they believed they were using him for the greater good. But Red's real goal was to use the Federal Bureau of Investigation as the most powerful, best-equipped private army a criminal has ever commanded, all funded by the American taxpayer. For an entire decade, he would give them a name from his blacklist, and the task force would mobilize its immense resources to make a bust. But he wasn't just catching criminals. He was systematically wiping out his business rivals, settling old scores, acquiring new assets, and consolidating his own power, all while using the task force as an impenetrable legal and physical shield. The blacklist was never just a list of bad guys. It was Reddington's corporate to-do list. The task force wasn't a law enforcement unit he was assisting. They were his unwitting and most effective accomplices. The entire 10-year arrangement was the con. The most elite law enforcement agency in the world never realized they were the puppets, and he was the one pulling all the strings. When the cops need your results more than you need their protection, you own the cops. Conclusion. From manipulating global politics with a single whisper to orchestrating the downfall of his closest and most dangerous friend, Raymond Reddington's true genius was his profound, almost supernatural understanding of human nature. He knows what people want, what they desperately fear, and what they need to believe. He doesn't just break the rules of the game, he creates an entirely new game, with new rules, that his opponents don't even know they're playing until their king is toppled. They weren't just outplayed, they were authored page by page into his story. What do you think is Reddington's most brilliant and ruthless move? Was there a moment of genius we missed? Let us know your favorite Reddington moment in the comments below. And now for the final debate. What was his greatest con? The director's protocol hijack or making the task force a 10-year asset? Defend your pick. If you enjoy breaking down the strategies of the world's greatest criminal minds, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Until next time, remember, in a world of criminals, the one who tells the best stories is king.